straightforward enough yet, the past presidents in the room and those in current leadership circles know that the journey of leadership is not always that smooth and is sometimes likened to paddling upstream in rapids in a leaking boat without oars. I'm slightly more optimistic than that and hope to share with you tonight some leadership thoughts which make this celebration not about me, but about us, and why I feel family physicians are in a unique position to lead at this critical time in the history of healthcare in Pennsylvania and in the nation. And through these remarks, I'll also share a bit about where I think we'll go together over this next year in the Pennsylvania Academy. I enjoy history. This is a special place to me, to my family. I met Sue Ellen here, married her here, did my med school at Penn State College of Medicine and then residency in Harrisburg. So it really is coming home to us to be here. I think it's also fitting to talk about leadership in Hershey, Pennsylvania, when we think about the legacy left by a failed caramel maker who then hit on a pretty good idea with chocolate, and talk about leadership examples and legacy. Wow. Speaking of history, I'm also reminded that in advice to one of his sons giving a similar speech, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt told him the oft-quoted way to make an impression on your audience: be brief, be brilliant, and be seated. I hope that my stewardship of this office is that efficient over the next year. I will proceed. 2 weeks ago, the Pennsylvania Academy hosted a leadership conference called 10 State right here in Hershey, Pennsylvania, up at the Hotel Hershey. As an aside, I have to say that that conference was planned long before the governance change, which dissolved our House of Delegates and moved us to an annual meeting format, and made this meeting be 2 weeks later, when it used to be in May. And we really have to give a round of applause to an incredible staff at the Pennsylvania Academy who pulled off 2 major events within 2 weeks' time with lots of people attending and lots of logistics. So a round of applause for us. They are an incredible team, and we're now finally calling this the March Madness, or the March Mega Madness meeting in the Pennsylvania Academy. At 10 State, we heard from a number of non-physician leaders on topics regarding strategic innovation, turning passion into leadership, governance, change in organizations, and the ethics that accompany those changes, and having the courage to lead. The opening speaker, Dr. Soren Kaplan, business consultant and founder of Innovation Point, discussed thoughts on strategic innovation breakthrough using his book, Leapfrogging, as a guide. He illustrated in his talk and book that the process of breakthrough in organizations and in business is not a straight trajectory, but more a series of leaps, leapfrogging, that can be put to memory in the form of the mnemonic leaps. L for listen, start with yourself, not necessarily the market. E, explore, go outside to stretch the inside. A, act, take simple small steps and actions again and again. P, persist, take the surprise out of failure and push through it. And S, seize, make the journey part of the destination and discover and be delighted by the surprise that comes with breakthrough and innovation. I believe the LEAPS construct is a useful one for leadership in today's healthcare environment, whether in our clinics, our hospital organizations, professional societies, or our communities. Who is better positioned to serve in these diverse roles and leapfrog and navigate through fast-paced and confusing times of change than the family doctor? Listen. Family physicians know how to listen to our patients, to our colleagues, and to communities. We need to take time to refresh and recharge along the way so that we can be better listeners. Often in silence, quiet conversation with another, or even in heated debate, we can be the voice of reason and moderation and find solutions to problems. I would really like to see us explore physician wellness more deeply during my tenure so that we can be recharged and refreshed to maintain the skill of listening in whatever context it occurs. Explore. Be a lifelong learner. As family physicians, we have been doing this long before board certification requirements, before accountable care organizations, continuous quality improvement, PQRS, ICD-10, and the patient-centered medical home became such popular terms. After all, we defined the patient-centered medical home. And this academy will continue to advocate for our patients and practices on the state and national levels when it comes to really remaining the leaders of choice in the patient-centered medical home concept. By board action this weekend, we are exploring doing a project to be resource-rich to help our members who are struggling with these issues and achieving these measures more fully and immediately pass the board, so we're innovating as we go. Additionally, we will continue to explore better ways to serve and engage our members and remain relevant to their concerns and issues. We have just launched a consulting process that will take place over the next 2 years and explore our governance structure and strategic plan to make sure we are fully capturing our members' concerns and listening to the collective wisdom of our past presidents, members, those outside of our organization, such as community and business leaders, in the process. We hope to have a summit around this meeting next year where all the stakeholders mentioned can come together and listen and explore together before final recommendations can be made to the board. The Pennsylvania Academy is not a static organization, but a dynamic one, and this is due in part to a strong and talented staff, good financial stewardship, a long-term experienced executive vice president, but most important, great wisdom from our past presidents, officers, and current board members. We stand on the shoulders of those who have served before us. Finally, under Explore, I will mention the value of mentoring and mentors in leadership. I hope to invigorate a presence of the president among the students and residents in Pennsylvania during this year. They are our future and are perhaps demonstrating the leapfrogging concept better than any other group as they challenge older models of medical education and organizational constraint. We stand to learn a lot when we listen to and explore their concerns together. Whether in a full-time academic teaching position or in serving as a clinical preceptor, mentoring can be a powerful way to ensure a strong future for family medicine in our communities and for the future leadership in our academy. Many of you in this room tonight have been strong mentors to me personally, and early on in my education asked me to serve. This is so important to the success of having students choose family medicine as a career and remain happy with that choice. It is also an important part of exploring new ideas to have mentors and be a mentor. I have participated in a leadership group every week for the past 2 years, an hour phone call every week, where we read and discuss leadership thoughts, books we've read, ideas, videos, and basically challenges we're facing. It's a group that's intergenerational. It includes students and residents, includes mentors to me. Dennis Gingrich is one of them. I cannot express how much this group has meant to me on a personal level in their collective wisdom and guidance shared freely with me on my own leadership journey. It is such an important part to be a mentor to others. Act. We are used to acting, following protocols for better patient safety and outcomes, understanding and coordinating resources for the complicated steps and processes involved in chronic disease management and population health concerns, and devising new processes involved in these approaches to improve those that hinder excellence in patient care and safety. The Pennsylvania Academy has rich resources available to assist us in these processes. A challenge is to better link our members with the resources available and to assist them in action steps in their clinics, organizations, and communities. I think the Collaborative Care and Chronic Health Consortium I visited today is a great example of one member's idea that grew now into a 5-year strong passion. The room was packed out at the country club, and another meeting going on today when we were packed to the gills with continuing ed right here at the lodge. Incredible. Persist. We can't be undone by failure or mistakes. Anticipate them. They will happen, and it's not a bad thing to reassess what is and isn't working with a problem or issue and come up with new solutions and push through that failure to a breakthrough. I really see this happening in my current role as a practicing family physician full-time and part-time chief medical information officer for my organization. The changes brought about by the electronic health record definitely illustrate the leapfrogging model. Physicians are usually satisfied when asked about their own workflows and their own systems in their own offices, but highly dissatisfied with larger systems and the lack of communication among other vendors and other components to a very complicated process. Installation of a new electronic system is really not about the electronics. It is more about the adoption of a culture change and workflow change, and this change does not come easily in straightforward fashion. Family physicians understand the complexity of these systems and the many moving parts involved and to improve patient care and safety. Look around, and you often see family doctors leading innovation in this way. It will be important for the Pennsylvania Academy to provide resources to those leaders wearing multiple hats and helping to persistently push through failure and lead to successful change. And finally, seize. Make the journey part of the destination. And this is where all of you come in. You are in the room tonight because you believe in the promise of family medicine as the solution to the challenges facing the health of our Commonwealth and nation. You support the mission of the Pennsylvania Academy to support its members through advocacy and education, to ensure a physician-coordinated, patient-centered medical home and quality health care for every Pennsylvanian. You join me on this leadership journey and inspire me to lead. Continue to be involved. Get another colleague involved. Ask a student to be involved. Join a commission. Volunteer to serve. Seek a way to improve the condition for those around you. I particularly want to acknowledge several people in the room. The love and support of my wife, Sue Ellen, my children, Ian and Hannah. And Ian, I'm really glad that Boston University coordinated spring break with my installation. My parents, my mother and father-in-law. The love and support of family is so foundational to any individual achievement or success. I love you all deeply and could not serve without your support. I mentioned several mentors in the room, and those I will name now are very special to me. Doctors Dennis Skingert, Wanda Filer, Jane and Tom Wida, all of our past presidents in some way, shape, form, or the other. Jane, it's yet another moment of surprise and delight to serve on the AAFP Foundation Board during your tenure as president. Sharing the stories and the journey to Haiti, I will go. Not sure when, but I will go. It's been great, and to see the transformation of that organization into a very strong part of philanthropy, which speaks to my heart as well. Wanda, you've inspired many family doctors in this room and across our country and state, not only in your service to this academy, but to Pennsylvania, in 2 years of service to the AAFP, and your current position on the board of directors. It's fun to watch where you go. Dennis, you serve so humbly and are an inspiration to several generations of students. Your service on the national level on various commissions is exemplary, and you are a trusted and dear friend, not only to myself, but to my children, to my family. You are a leader from behind and a servant leader, and the greatest example of those terms. Pennsylvania produces strong leaders, and I know you will all help me in this leadership year of responsibility, and I count on your support to help me through this year. President of Juniata College, Dr. Jim Traha, and his wife Jennifer are with us this evening. Jim, serving on the Board of Trustees has been a great joy as we welcome you as our newest president in the long history of Juniata College. The Juniata College slogan, Think, Evolve, Act, could easily fit into a leapfrogging example used in this address. I'm deeply honored by your presence and the friendship of you and Jennifer. What a journey we are on together. I would like to acknowledge and thank the staff of Family Medical Care, represented by my office manager, Suzanne Radel, my partner in the practice, Dr. Ann Kerber, and leaders, Associate Vice President Andrew Gibbons, who have come down from Evangelical Community Hospital. Thanks for aptly managing my absences and juggling of multiple responsibilities. I hope it all makes a little bit more sense to you all now why I do this and why it's important. Thank you, dear friends in attendance, Ron Cohen, Richard and Sharon Smith, John and Nancy Showers, Wallace and Jenny Green, Julie Barna and Mark Verhoof, and of course the leadership group. I see many members of the leadership group sitting in the audience, and I think more are gathering later on. You mean a lot to me. We already acknowledged our distinguished guests here, and your presence is also honoring not just me, but this academy, so thank you for coming. And I also want to thank our past president, Bill Sonnenberg, for your service. I look forward to your continued leadership as past president and board chair. To Dr. Kevin Wong, outgoing past president and board chair, and to President-elect Dr. Nicole Davis, and Vice President Dr. Rob Rodak, who couldn't be with us. We have a great group to serve alongside with for this coming leadership cycle year. I look forward to the adventures to come. Join me in advocating for our patients and practices, engaging our members in new and vital ways to remain relevant to our future, in mentoring others, in leaving a legacy, and listening, and in personal wellness in all sense of that term. I conclude my remarks this evening as I concluded the 10-state conference 2 weeks ago with the 10 qualities that made President Abraham Lincoln a great leader, according to historian and author Doris Kearns Goodwin in a fantastic book, A Team of Rivals, that many of you have read. Number 1, capacity to listen to different points of view. Lincoln created a cabinet atmosphere where advisors were free to disagree without fear of retaliation. Number 2, ability to learn on the job, acknowledge errors, learn from them, and move on. Number 3, have a ready willingness to share credit for success. And number 4, a ready willingness to share blame for failure. Number 5, have an awareness of our own weaknesses. Number 6, have an ability to control your emotions. Lincoln was famous for writing the hot letter. We probably could all say now we could write the hot email and sit on it and not send it. And then when the situation diffuses, think through to a clear solution. He was famous for not holding a grudge. Number 7, know how to relax and replenish. To throw off the stress of the day, he enjoyed laughter, storytelling, theater, and good friends. Maybe a gin martini or two every now and then. That'll come later. Number 8, go out into the field and manage directly. He engaged himself regularly in public opinion baths, immersing himself in the folks of the Washington area, going out to the battlefield, shaking people's hands, talking to them personally. He was characterized by that all the time. Number 9, have strength to adhere to fundamental goals. And finally, number 10, have ability to communicate those goals and visions. Again, thank you for attending the festivities this evening. You'll join us after the program concludes for dinner, music, and dancing to come, and most important, leapfrog right on out of here this evening and after the weekend, invigorated to continue the good work you're doing and lead in your own way wherever you go. Thank you very much.
It is now my honor to present the 2014 PAFP Exemplary Teacher Award to Patrick McManus, MD. Patrick, come to the podium, please.